JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is a franchise that has been running since 1987. I believe that before we jump into 2021, we should look back to see precisely how far it has come as a franchise in just 10 years. But before we do, I hope y'all are doing good. On to the video. I shouldn't be including 2010, but we'll do this as a short prep before 11. Steel Ball Run is still releasing at this time, and Stardust Crusaders continues its English release through Viz. A large thing to happen here, aside from, Steel Ball Run nearing its end, was the official release at Rohan at the Louvre on March 19th, 2010. You could have read it in 2009 at the Louvre invites the comics, or Le Louvre invite la bande dessinée event, but it officially released in Japan on March 19th of 2010. I do strongly suggest looking into Rohan related events, not for lore or anything, I just like Rohan. And also I did previously say in the last video, you will not hear me say French, but it called for it here. 2011. Large moves this year, extremely large moves. April 29th, 2011, Steel Ball Run releases its final chapter, chapter 95, The World of Stars and Stripes outro. The next month, Araki hits the game with a two-piece, with JoJo's releasing its first chapter on May 19th, 2011. August 23rd, 2011, the release of Rohan Kishibe meets Gucci. This short story becomes another one of the few Gucci collaborations that JoJo has. Not many franchises can say that, let's remember that. September 16th, the release of Shameless Purple Haze, known as Purple Haze Feedback, and just titled Purple Haze Feedback on the side. This piece is a light novel written by Koei Kadono, known for his work with Boogie Pop. Not Araki, remember that, Araki did not write this, but there were illustrations provided by Araki. That happens a lot with these light novels. This novel was one of the three a part of the Verse JoJo project, a project for JoJo's 25th anniversary. And in addition to that, JoJo's 25th is also Araki's 30th, so it was a reasonably large anniversary altogether. September 17th through October 6th, the Gucci x Hirohiko Araki x Spur exhibit goes live in Shinjuku, Tokyo. Lots and lots of great sights to see. It was a great event for the JoJo fans of that time. Or, at least the ones with money. But on to December 16th, 2011, the release of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Over Heaven. Now, Nishio Ishin wrote this light novel. I think that this novel was a interesting and all-around great take on the contents of Dio's diary. I think this is a fun read if you're interested on the next step of fanfiction that there is in the world, but yeah. And to finish off 2011, December 28th, 2011, on Araki's site, he announces that the JoJo 25th anniversary finally begins. 2012 would go on to be one of the most impactful years for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Now on to 2012, April 17th, the release of JoJo's Bizarre Words. This was a set of books filled with notable panels, art, and commentary from Araki. A great collector's item, or just a little something to see the behind-the-scenes actions in JoJo. July 5th, 2012, Bandai announces JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle. You can imagine how hype it got everyone. Now we're pretty close to our 35th anniversary, like right now in this current time. I'm not saying anything, but it would be great to see something, don't you think? Just like a new one? Something, I don't know, man. July 13th, Araki announces that parts 1 through 3 are available to read on JoJo D, or JoJo Digital, a Jump Comics app. July 28th, 2012, the Hirohiko Araki JoJo Exhibition 2012 goes live in Sendai, Japan. It goes on from July 28th to August 14th. There are so many amazing pieces in this exhibit. You can find some of the great artwork by looking at his page on JoJo Wiki, because honestly, it's over, so what are you going to do? September 19th, the release of 25 Years with JoJo and the George Joestar novel. 25 Years with JoJo is an anniversary booklet done for the 25th anniversary, and it features all types of amazing things. One of the things that I'd love to see is that all of the art done by other manga creators. I want to say it's some honorable mentions, but all of the work here is pretty notable. But as for ones that you might recognize, there's Masashi Kishimoto of Naruto, Tite Kubo of Bleach, Ichiro Oda of One Piece, Yoshihiro Togashi of Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter, and Akira Toriyama of Dragon Ball. There's even more, and if you wanted to see it, again, I'd refer to the JoJo Wiki page because it's hard to get a physical one. As for the George Joestar novel, this is a novel that I'd say changed the game in terms of JoJo scaling. What happens in this novel is a complete fever dream, and I think it's a fun read. You know those meme posts where it's just like people creating things like, oh, it's Star Platinum over Heaven Requiem, and it's like that type of over crazy stand. And well, it exists in this. It's spoiler alert, but yeah, you'll see that type of stuff. October 1st, 2012, the release of Hirohiko Araki Works exhibition catalog. This is a fantastic art book to where you can see the volume covers with no logo. A lot of great things in here. October 5th, 2012, the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure anime goes live with episode 1 of Phantom Blood. Greatness. Pure greatness. Also on October 5th, the release of JoJomenon. This magazine features things like art and interviews, but let's focus on these pictures of Araki. Also, here's Jotaro with the inspiration of his character, Clint Eastwood. Yeah, if you look to a lot of Eastwood's earlier roles, it's not that surprising, I'd say. I'm going on record to say that I don't have any recommendations because there's a lot of dated stuff out there that, yeah. Also, October 6th, the release of Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe, Episode 5, Millionaire's Village. You can watch or read. Both versions are accessible at this moment. I like both too, so go and do what you must. And finishing off 2012, we have December 22nd, the release of Jolene Fly High with Gucci. It's a great one-shot manga that stands as a piece of the extensive collaborative works done with JoJo and Gucci. Because, oh my goodness, look how small Popo is. What the 2013. I could not find the exact date for it on Araki's site, but the idea is that this has happened in January. And that is the Gucci and Araki collaboration. There was a time where you could just walk by the Gucci store and just turn to your right and just be like, oh, hey, is that Jolene? What the heck? Oh, wait, is that Abakio? Is that Bruno? And that would be in all types of places. Florence, Shinjuku, Paris, New York, freaking California, somewhere in San Francisco. It's ridiculous. It was everywhere. And it was amazing. Such a great time to walk by the Gucci store. April 6th, the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure anime finishes up with episode 26, or episode 17 of Battle Tendency. August 29th, 2013, finally, the release of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle. Now, come on, let's do this. 2022, please, something. Come on, I'm begging. September 19th, the release of the limited edition version of JoJo Veller. JoJo Veller is an amazing set of books with all types of stuff inside of it. The largest thing for me to pull from it all, though, was probably the commentaries with almost every stand. It's just some amazing work. Just, oh my god. Oh my goodness. And we're finishing off 2013 with October 12th, the release of episode 6 of Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe, Poaching Seashore. 2014, an exceptional year for part 3, eating a burger with no honey mustard. Just making sure you're there. If you got to this point, just comment that'd be hilarious. March 11th, 2014, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Shooter goes live. JoJo was really trying to cover all the bases here. They had manga, anime, fighting games, and a mobile game. in 2014. All of that. They could just not lose in this year. April 4th, Stardust Crusaders continues its win streak. JoJo continues its win streak with going live with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Stardust Crusaders, Episode 1. The game was getting changed up. Jotaro is now animated. Everyone is losing it. Now, September 13th, the Stardust Crusaders anime finishes up its first season with episode 24. September 22nd, the release of Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe's episode 4, The Harvest Moon. Now we're finishing up 2014 with the release of Learn English with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I would have not expected to see a JoJo English study guidebook. I'd love to make a video on that, but unfortunately I already speak English. But a free video idea for anyone else. Now we're up to 2015. January 9th, Stardust Crusaders continues with its second season, Battle of Egypt. This episode will go on to be number 25, The Fool, Iggy, Geb, and Duel Part 1. Did I go on to be in the wrong way? Yeah, probably. But now, June 29th, Stardust Crusaders finishes up entirely with episode 48. December 4th, 2015, the release of episode 7 of Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe, A Rainy Monday. Very, very nice. And finally, finishing up 2015 on December 17th, we have the release of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Lack of Local Multiplayer. Wait, that's not right. Ooh, my bad. I mean Eyes of Heaven. Oops. 2016. Now, when it comes to this year, this is when you're about to reach an anniversary. The good thing, though, I'd say large moves here. April 1st, 2016, Diamond is Unbreakable begins airing with its first episode. I'm not kidding. April 1st. It was a lot of people were confused. It was a very odd time. Oh yeah, did not mention any of the figure releases because there were so many figures that have came out in that time. Just so much stuff and it would just fluff up the video. So I'm not doing that. But I guess one thing to include would be the white Killer Queen figure because that's just a spectacle to see. That is such a great color scheme they got going on over there. August 26, 2016, learn more English with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. There's a sequel. That's two videos. Come on, free ideas here, everyone. Just go ahead, take it, do it. And finally, on December 23rd, 2016, episode 39 of Diamond is Unbreakable goes live, concluding the part. 2017. Now this year is the 30th anniversary, so you know that the most had to go on. January 1st, the 30th anniversary of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but of course. February 19th, 2017, the JoJo Great Festival begins. And since this was made as a celebration of DIU, you're going to see a lot of Part 4 stuff over here. Great stuff. February 20th, the release of Diamond Records. Diamond Records is a free-to-play mobile game. What's cool here is that I didn't pull from any existing thing like how Stardust Shooters and All-Star Battle connects like that. So that's really, really interesting. June 3rd, I know about this one especially because I made a video on it. The Real 4D Dio's World, a cinematic attraction, is announced on the Universal Studios of Japan Twitter. The dates were going on from June 30th to October 1st. This became another event that I could not go to, which sucks because, man, a lot of cool stuff has been happening over the years. June 29th, the release of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure official app. Now, I'd say that I'd like to tell you what's on here, but I don't have it in my country. But from the information on the JoJo Wiki, which I strongly recommend that you would go to, we can see that you can read manga here, find key points in real life, take care of Iggy, so that's something, and see the latest JoJo news. Now, this site won't be available after February 21st, 2021, so I'd say enjoy what you can if you can find your workarounds to get to it. July 2nd, the Diamond is Unbreakable live-action movie gets a special first-time screening in Switzerland's Neuchâtel International Fantastic Film Festival. Try saying that like 10 times fast. It goes on to get another screening at the Fantasia International Film Festival in Montreal on July 13th. July 15th, the Escape from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure amusement park opens its first location at the Tokyo Dome City Stadium. It was an escape game, so that sounds nice. They did something similar in LA far bit later. August 4th, the official release of the Diamond is Unbreakable live action movie, and this was an official release in Japan. August 12th, the Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe series continues with episode 8, DNA, and that hits the streets. September 20th, Rohan goes animated once again with the Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe series starting its OVAs, with the first one being episode 5, Millionaire's Village. And closing out the year, we have the Bulgari and Araki collab. I love this work because of this amazing Killer Queen focus. Look, this Killer Queen wallet, I'd go wild, I promise. 2018. A lot should sound familiar here. I know it's about to be 2021, but we've spent a lot of time together here. February 26th, the release of episode 9 of Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe, The Run. There's a lot of Rohan stuff out there when you think about it, of how many times I've said it. And honestly, I strongly suggest it. It's pretty nice in my opinion. July 5th, the Japanese premiere of the 5th installment of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure anime, Golden Wind. It's 4th technically if you want to think about how part 1 and 2 are just fused together, but just put that off to the side. There's also another premiere on the same day in France, and on July 6th, there is an American premiere in Anime Expo that happened in LA. Now, this event was one that I was actually there for. And honestly, I really do hope that we get some more JoJo related stuff in America. There was also an escape room deal that I haven't given its focus on because I missed it. It was called JoJo's Bizarre Escape, the hotel, and I didn't do it. Stuff happens. I don't know what to tell you. July 19th, the Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe OVA comes back to us with episode 2, Matsukabe Hill. August 24th, the first opening of the exhibition titled Hirohiko Araki JoJo Exhibition, Ripples of Adventure. I made a video on this before, but this was essentially another great anniversary event with all types of merch and art. This exhibition was to celebrate the 30th, which would be Araki's 35th, and at this point, it would be great for the world to go back to some sort of normal so that we can get a chance to do something for the 35th. Or at least get normal so we can function. But yeah, JoJo. Woo. August 29th, Diamond Records goes through a strong revamp and is now titled Diamond Records Reversal. I know that a lot of y'all played it. I didn't. That's it. Now October 5th, 2018, Golden Wind begins airing with episode 1. And finishing off 2018 with October 10th, we have the release of JoJo's, let me turn my head, Pitter Patter Pop. I remember some people thought that it was going to be something else, but the art is nice. I do like it a lot. And now we are on 2019, a year left. July 28th, Golden Wind finishes airing. What a great and refreshing part. December 18th, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Last Survivor goes live in arcades. A lot of people are waiting for this to hit console and PC. That would be cool. I'm always down for a new game. It'd be pretty nice. December 19th, the release of JoJo Onicle. This isn't a JoJo Bionicle, unfortunately, but it is a fantastic catalog of the artwork that was featured at the Ripples of Adventure exhibition. 2020. I wouldn't say I like this year, but that's unrelated to JoJo. March 25th, we double up with Rohan this year, because episode 9 and episode 16 was now animated for the Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe series. September 19th, the release of JoJo's Chapter 100. I wanted to put this here because we have to consider how long it's been for everything. Like, remember how I said the final chapter of Steel Ball Run was in 2011? There's a lot of time to catch up, everyone. Just remember, take your time with everything. And finally, December 28th, the Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe series goes live, literally, with the live-action take on the series. Not aired that long ago, December 28th. And there's going to be a bit more later on, so keep your eye out for that. A fun little fact is that I started uploading JoJo in October of 2016, so I'd say that we come a long way since then. Cheers to more. Hopefully there will be more to see. Until the next one, try to stay up. And remember, peace out and Godspeed.